Alright guys, like I said, my last review, this week is going to be Constructicon week. So all week I'm doing Constructicon reviews. And to start off my reviews, we're going to do scrap metal. Now personally, scrap metal is one of my personal favorite Constructicons out of the whole group, him and Scrapper. You can see him in the background there. I love these. This is one of my personal favorites from the whole Constructicon group, and apparently this guy's really hard to find. Well, that's weird. I didn't know that. Now, I guess we can go for accessories first. Things first. There's a bug flying around. Now, his only accessories is a little shield that is, it's like a little panel that basically pops on his back when he's in his vehicle mode. So yeah, it's like a little. Oops, I dropped it. Just a little panel that he has a shield technically, and without it on his arm, actually, he has a lot of detail on that arm. And without it on there, you really see all that detail on the arm and how robotic and like unfinished it kind of looks, like scaffolding. But in this arm, it's like really, it's like complete. I also like how his arms aren't even on the insides, because you can notice here, this arm is more like a cylindrical kind of tube, and then it's like this arm's like a bunch of pistons. You know. Let me see if I focus here. Focus on the transformers in the background, focus on the transformers in the foreground. There we go. It's like a bunch of pistons on his arm. I love that. And I like all the little details, like the little ladder from his chest, the little lights from the concept art, and all his painted detail. Let's get that articulation real quick, shall we? Now, he has some really weird articulation, kind of because of how he's kind of sculpted and molded. Very, very interesting articulation, in my opinion. Very weird, very kind of unique. All of them have weird articulation, actually. They're all pretty unique, all the Constructicon's articulation. Sorry for the car in the background, if you can hear it. Alright, I'm just getting low to the ground here, where I can do this. So, his arms are on ball joints, so they can go all the way all over the place. Yeah. So his lower arms are on ball joints as well. This is just on a hinge joint, and it can go back and forward. And his hands can be opened and closed, so if you want to open them, have him like grabbing something, he can do that. His head's on a ball joint, but like at a really weird angle, so it's kind of weird, but it's on a really good, actually it's pretty articulated. And technically like a little cheat if you undo his little back joint back there, because his head's in a joint. Now, here's the legs. Now, his legs are on a ball joint, as you can see there. My little legs pop off sometimes. His legs are on a nice ball joint that can kick out about that far. No ankle pivots. His legs are molded for like an ankle, and his legs are kind of wheeled articulated. So it's so there's a bend. So there's a bend here and like a bend here. And honestly, if you want to have like a more like G1 looking look to him and make him a little taller, you're gonna have his legs like this, and honestly, it just gives him a nice knee bend. You know, if you want him to have more of a G1 look and make him a little taller, you can do that. But of course, I'm gonna have him. Well, how I have him is like this, which is the official way, with him having the chicken legs. You know, I guess some people don't like Transformers with chicken legs, but sometimes it works. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Now, I transform this guy kind of weird. So I always like to start the torso. So I'm going to start the torso. So I'm just going to turn around for you guys. So what you're going to do is that you're going to flip up his hand, and we're going to flip it in there. Do the same thing with the side. Flip it in there, like that. And then undo these, flip them up. Flip this around like, okay, flip it around like this. And flip it down. Like that. And then undo this, and then take this and undo that, transform it, and kind of, you want it to look like this, like that, bam. And then for the legs, like that, and like that. Make sure to turn them around. Also, don't forget to untab that from the chest. Also, I missed a step here. Make sure to make sure to also spin around his head, because it covers up his head a little better, like that. You can flip down his chest, and we can just, and everything's gonna tab in basically. There's gonna be a tab that's gonna tab in his leg right there, and this little tab is gonna tab into there. And it's gonna tab in right there, and it's gonna tab in right there, and bam, there's hold up, just give me a little prop here. Oh, there we go. And there's our little wait, nope, I'm missing a piece actually. Hold up, let me just fully transform this piece. There's a little panel. There's a little panel, and basically to make this look nicer back here. I mean, I get it. It's kind of technically parts forming, but it does make the figure look nicer. So you plug this into the 2 slots, and like, bam. Now it's a nice little excavator thing. Now I know in the movie, he has like a unique little clasp thing that he can like grab stuff with, like iron bars and all that. But for the Studio Series round, they went with a regular old attachment, a little regular old scoop, and the scoop is pretty articulated, honestly. As articulated as most scoopers are for these kind of figures. For like these kind of Transformers and all that. I mean, it would have been nice to see that unique little claw and kind of have it open up and close and stuff. But I get it. I kind of get it, you know. Also, he's not. I get that some of his paints are inaccurate. Like this whole piece should be all black, and some of his stuff should be different colored. A lot of these guys' colors are inaccurate. I'll be honest. The Scrapper's vehicle mode is super inaccurate to the actual thing. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do I actually don't think I'm gonna do Skipjack. Not Skipjack, Rampage, whatever the red one is. I don't think I'm gonna do a review on him. I don't know. I'm thinking about it still. Alright, I'm gonna get this guy to robot mode and give you my final thoughts. Alright, and we're back. So, he's a good little figure if you can buy him. Now, what I've been hearing about is that people have been buying the whole Devastator box set and just keeping this guy and selling off the whole thing. That's what I've been hearing. And I don't know about the Devastator box set. I really think it's dumb. It's just simple little dirt scuffs on certain figures that doesn't even look nice, and it like makes some parts bronze, which is weird. Yeah, but like if you can find this figure, like he's a really good figure for his price, honestly. But if you want to experience them, I suggest you just buy the knockoff version coming out. Don't buy any other ones if you're going to buy the knockoff version. Because the knockoff version is bigger. And you can put a lot more stuff, like the grappling hooks and all that. So if you want to buy the knockoff version, go ahead. And what I think about the bomber guy from Devil Savior, meh, I don't care. I don't like how he looks. He looks weird. I prefer scrap metal or bomber. Even though technically scrap metal bomber and Hightower make an arm, but hey, that's what I think. It'd be up to you what you think, you know. Sorry if I'm rambling on here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a short video today. Because scrap metal, he's a little bit of yeah, my original idea was going to do him and Hightower, but I changed my mind. So yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to do Hightower now, because Hightower, I don't think he'd keep up a whole video by himself, honestly. So yeah, let's do Hightower real quick. Alright, so we're doing a double review on Hightower. Put scrap metal off to the side here. Now, Hightower was a really weird figure when I bought him. He's not faring the best nowadays. His leg's a little loose, but this leg's nice and tight. If you guys know in the comments how to tighten this kind of joint, tell me in the comments, because I would like to tighten this up a little bit. Now, this guy, I'll be honest, he's a little weird in my opinion. Articulation weird. Sculpt weird, you know, everything about him is weird. Also, if these were actually scaled, this guy would be huge if you think about it, you know. So, I mean, in terms of sculpt, I mean, he's really detailed, and yeah, I don't really know what to say about him. But I mean, I like him. His little claw, even though he had like a hook. This should have came with him and been an attachment, and he should have got like a little hook that came down. You know, if you really want to think about it. But I get that these two are based off concept art. These two, I get these two are based off concept art. You know, this guy only had one piece. This guy had like several, and they went with the more dinosaur-looking one with the little T-Rex arms, and you can kind of replicate that one piece of concept art by like shoving his face into there, flatten his legs and kind of like doing it like this. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but you can like, unplug this real quick. Yes, it's a separate piece, so you can unplug it. You can kind of do it like that, and you can kind of replicate the concept art if you want, like that. I think. Is that how they had it? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that piece of concept art, but you can kind of have it like this. So yeah, you can kind of replicate that piece of concept art. So yeah. Also, yes, his crane arm's a little inaccurate. It is actually really inaccurate. This is supposed to be all yellow. Well, I don't care though. For his price, he's a relatively good figure. Now let's get on to this weird articulation I was talking about. So his head, okay, so his little arms, here's his arms. They're just on a little joint, this little up and down. This is on like a little hinge you pop it off and on. This can go up and down, but we'll do more of that later in the one of the modes. Now the legs are kind of like his arms. They can move out about that far. They can swivel about that. They can go all the way around. They can they have a bend here that can go all the way around. No, actually, never mind. It gets stuck, and all the way around like that. And there's a hinge here and a hinge here, and then there's another. Is this swivel? I don't know. There's a swivel here. Yeah. And his feet can be kind of adjusted to your height and how you like it. His head is on a ball, like kind of like a weird ball joint. Cause it's like I don't think it is a ball joint actually. Yeah, I think it's a ball joint. Yeah, it's not a ball joint. And it's on like also a hinge, so it's like a weird ball joint that's very articulated. And also like you can kind of have this kind of come out more, like for a longer neck if you want. This is for the Devastator hand mode. I'm not gonna do any of the hand mode stuff for this video. I'm gonna do it for all the combiner mode later. Alright, so let's get this guy down to transformation, shall we? So what I do is that I flatten the feet. You can just do it manually, honestly. I just did that because I wanted to. I just shove the head in there. Actually make sure he's looking up. Then put it in. Flip up these hands for now. Because I want to flip them down later. And what we're going to do now, we're going to have them like this. Untab that and bring it down. Do what you want with the combiner peg. Honestly, I keep it down like that because it hides it better. Also, before you bring this down, make sure to line these little sections up with this little piece right there. Maybe I should be looking more into the camera and not the actual figure. I don't know. Okay, so also, you kind of want the legs adjusted like this a little bit, for it's easier to kind of get them out of the way when you need to. Actually, like this. That's perfect. So when you go and get out of the way, like kind of like adjust it like this, and bam. Also, before you tab that all in, make sure this is down, and everything will snap in nice and securely. Everything should snap in nice and securely. Unless I did something wrong here. Nope, I didn't plug that in fully. All right, now everything should snap in perfectly. There we go. And we can tab everything down here. Now his whole entire robot mode is visible under here, which is kind of a shame, but it's fine. Flip down, flip this up, and flip that up. And then there's Hightower in his Hightower mode, in his crane mode. I mean, it's a nice little crane. It rolls pretty well for its little stupid little wheels that don't work that well if it's on a carpet. But hey, it's yeah, it works well. Next to Mix Master. Now, I like the mold, I like the sculpt, it's just that he is inaccurate, which is looks a little fine with me, I don't really care. Now, the crane arm can move around this far and move up this far. And it kind of has like a hinge here that can push it back and make it like that. The crane arm's pretty articulated. And that's really it for the crane mode. I mean, it's nicely detailed for a little crane. I did at one point put little iron, little pieces of I don't know what I used, but like metal string I think, and I had it like hung up around these like it was like a rope. I didn't like how it looked, so I took it off. So yeah, that was my and I'm gonna get this guy real back quick to robot mode and tell you my final thoughts and my opinion of the figure, and I'm gonna end a review here. And I guess that was my double review on Hightower and Scrap Metal. Now I'll give you my opinions on Scrap Metal here. Now Scrap Metal is a really weird figure, and I kind of hate to say it. Him and Overload are kind of the weaker figures in my opinion. Him and Overload. I don't know, just kind of how they were made. Overload had a lot of potential with the articulation on the arms, but they just didn't do it, which is a shame. And this guy was just, I don't know, it was weird, just kind of how they engineered him. You know, just kind of weird. I don't know, I feel like these two I feel like Overload and Hightower here are the weakest chains out of the group. But I'll be honest, some of the best characters in the group for the Constructicons are Long Haul, Scrapper, and Scrap Metal. Maybe Mixmaster. Skipjack and Demolisher, whatever his name is, Scavenger. They're fine. I don't care about them that much. But I feel like Overload and Hightower here are some of the weaker links. But Scrap Metal here is a good figure. I like him. He's just a good little figure for his price. Alright. That was my video review on Scrap Metal and Hightower. I hope you guys like it. This is Skyrim Studio, signing off. See you next time. Hoping it actually saves.